Hey guys, it's JC, the Gospel Centered Health Coach. On my channel today, I am on part 4 of my sugar addiction series. I don't know how many parts it'll be, we'll see. I'm going to talk to moms today, or parents. I've talked a lot about my sugar addiction recovery 15 years ago and my own personal struggle, but I'm a mom of a large family and I was right in the middle of parenting when all of that started to go down. So I thought I'd share just a few thoughts about parenting and feeding kids and sugar and how to handle it. I don't know that I have the right answers. This was just my story. But my kids are all in their 20s now and I've learned some things along the way. So I thought maybe I'd just share it a little bit for those of you that may have questions. I know how I need to be healed, but what do I do about my kids? So my story is unique, or maybe not. Maybe this is just like you. When I first began to be aware of the depression and the mood swings and all the things that I was going through being caused by the sugar, and I started to wake up to it, I've explained that in other videos, and really becoming ready to make a change. The more I studied about sugar, the more I was appalled at what I was feeding my kids. But my kids, I have 7 kids, and at the time they were kind of like more grown up. They weren't all little. They were like kindergarten to junior high age. And so what happened first was I was just horrified and I kind of like laid down the law. Hey, we are changing this and we're going to eat this type of breakfast. And these are kids that had grown up on cold cereal and white bread and all mom's treats that she had around all the time. I had fed them the standard American diet from my own sugar addiction. We made brownies all the time. And all of a sudden mom was freaking out. And I have to tell you, I had a full-blown mutiny on my hands, husband included. Like the whole family was like, no, this is your thing. Mom, no, go buy the Captain Crunch. Like they really were not happy about the changes that I wanted to make. And what dawned on me was I suddenly had a new why. Again, I've explained that in other videos, but I was seeing things through a new way and I needed to make some changes for my own mental, emotional health. But they hadn't experienced that. This was their joy. This was their happy place. Like I had fed them all those kinds of foods. And so to change it overnight, when they weren't in a place where they were ready for it, I saw that would become a negative thing. So two things hit me pretty quick. The first was I needed to go slow and just take it one step at a time, but focus on my own healing first. It didn't mean I wouldn't make small changes, but go slow with the family, but focus on me. Maybe some of you won't handle it like that, but boy, I had so much pushback. I was very prayerful about it. And the Lord was like, let's just get your body stable. Then I'll show you how to slowly, make that change in your family and as you cook. The second thing that hit me though was that meant I needed to go through my own recovery with the junk in the house. Like I wanted to just clear it all out, and everyone was so not happy about that. And that was fair. That was fair for me to not demand that of 8 other people. But that also meant it's like telling an alcoholic to work in a bar and stay sober. You know, you're right around it all the time. And that, honestly, I will say that's why I feel so strongly about taking a gospel-centered approach to this, because he healed me right in the middle of all of that. There were still the treats and stuff in the house, the kid food, the stuff that used to call to me. And slowly he was able to heal me right in the middle of it. That's how powerful that experience was. So I'm just saying to those of you that are like, my husband won't get on board, my family member, if they don't help me and clear out all the junk, I can't do it. And I'm just sharing that we can't always control other people, but it doesn't mean that will stop our own recovery. It doesn't mean that it's not possible for us. Even if we're right in the middle of all of it, there can be freedom from this. So as I began to get more stable myself, I just introduced small changes at a pace that they were open for. For instance, their school lunches, like we packed home lunches a lot. They didn't always, but I mean, it was Capri Suns and white bread and Go-Gurts and always a Little Debbie or a treat or Oreos. They had so much sugar in their lunches that to just take out a treat was like, oh, that just freaked him out. So slowly I'd suggest other changes. Maybe not the Capri Sun. Could you guys drink water? Or just changing the bread took a couple of years. Like I would bring home the multigrain stuff and it would just sit there and they would reach for the white and I would kind of offer both and slowly start to talk about it. But after a couple of years, I'm not even kidding. Like I think they just transitioned. It just slowly, a little bit at a time, we got to the point where I never bought white bread anymore. But it wasn't this stark forced thing. It was slowly and gave them time to get used to it, to adjust to it. And then there was no mutiny anymore. Soon they were eating better, but they didn't even realize it because it kind of went slow. Again, just my feelings about it kind of goes with parenting theories about forcing them and other things. You want them to choose of their own accord. We want to kind of teach them and educate them, but give them that opportunity to get on board, not because mom's forcing them, but because I'm inviting them and teaching them. Like for instance, I have 4 boys and 3 girls and several were athletes. And I would talk to the athletes all the time, not about calories and weight gain, but about fueling their bodies. Well, I had several ballroom dancers about how to take good snacks that would fuel them and not all this junk that my track athlete, one went collegiate and he needed to perform. And we would talk a lot about how he needed to hydrate and eat well and he would take good food. It started to ring true for them. I have several that are hypoglycemic. It runs in the family, in my husband's family. And so soon we started to have conversations about food and mood and how that their blood sugar being all over the place was affecting that irritability. And soon they started to have their own why. There were a few I was like, they're never going to get on board. But even as adults, I'm starting to see a little more interest when their own health has demanded it. And they've just finally, each one in their own time, have come to me and said, okay, Mom, what do I need to do? But it's at each child's pace. I have a few that have really gone healthy. Some that are kind of middle of the road. It's the same when they come home. We have in-laws now and grandkids, and I don't cut out all the sugar when everybody comes home. I am learning to make low sugar treats and have alternatives. And they know, and some participate and some are a little more, make the sugar, better have the Texas sheet cake. I mean, some of the traditions that they grew up with are still very sentimental for them. And so I'm not incredibly hard-nosed about it. I understand that other people have their own choices and that this is a choice for me. I am free and I'm a radically different person without the sugar, and I will continue to communicate that. But everyone has to choose at their own pace. So I don't know if that helped. Let me give you a couple more suggestions. This is a book I found recently that I highly recommend for mamas. It's called Sugar Proof. It's by Michael Gorin and Emily Ventura. And so it might be hard to read because they talk very, very openly about what sugar is doing to the bodies of our kids. And it's almost horrifying. Like you may read it and think, oh, you just feel so overwhelmed. I can't fight against the sugar coming from every direction and I'm hooked on it and my kids, and how are we ever... They do pretty good at not setting a dogmatic tone about it, but just showing you little changes that you can make and giving you hope what you can do, realistically, without becoming the sugar Nazi on your blog. Another book I'll link below, as well as this one, is called Little Sugar Addicts by Kathleen DeMasons, and it talks about the body chemistry in children and what's happening in their bodies when they eat sugar. Both books do really wonderful things with that can help so that we can educate our kids. We don't force, we can educate. This is why we're kind of eating a little differently, and this is what will happen. And see, look, you don't feel so good. Do you see why? Because you ate 12 donuts. So that we can educate and let them learn for themselves and own it. Not just forced upon them, but own it for themselves. I also would love to link below some of my favorite websites for moms to help move to whole food and help with picky eaters. There's some wonderful ones I'll put below. I'll also put my favorite, a couple of favorite cookbooks, whole food cookbooks of moms with kids that make it doable. It's not this strange food that your kids are going to roll their eyes and not eat. I have found a lot of helps, and I'll make sure to link those below because I know It's tough. You've got picky eaters, we've got lots of different tastes, and all of a sudden mom is trying to, take care of ourselves, but take care of them, and it's overwhelming. But I think the Lord will guide us. No, not think. I know he will guide us. I know he knows the world that we live in and how difficult it is and the kind of forces that we're fighting against, and the influences on our family. But that he'll help us do it in a way that is gentle and not militant, but that will slowly help them understand the importance of this. It's not just mom being mean that she puts, healthy food on my plate. It's that we can teach them why their body needs it and how it will make them feel, not just about weight. We're not going to talk about weight. Oh man, that's some body image videos that I've already made when it comes to daughters, and this is tricky. Oh, I can't go into that here, but check out those videos too. Maybe I'll link them below too. This is hard as a mom to have that influence, but not force it on them, to let them discover the way that we have had that same freedom in our journey. All right, I don't know. Ask me questions in the comments below if you have some. I hope that helped a little bit. I don't know if your story is different, but just to know that another mom was able to slowly make some changes right in the middle of a family that was being fed terribly. And then we turned a corner and we slowly are getting there and making changes, that it is possible. So thanks a lot for joining me today. Have a great week.